Well, good morning, folks. It is Tuesday morning here in Salt Lake City. We're just outside of Salt Lake City at the Great Salt Lake State Park. So we're going to walk around here a little bit and check it out. You can see the Great Salt Lake right behind us. I was here when I was a kid, years and years ago in the 1960s, and I vaguely remember it, but we thought we'd come out here and walk around a little bit, see what there is to see, and enjoy our start of the day. We're just going to be touring around here, then we're going to be going downtown Salt Lake City and just walking around there a little bit and just enjoying the day. It is absolutely beautiful out, so come on along. So here's some information about the Great Salt Lake State Park. They've got some history of it here, and I'll put that up so you can take a look at it. But you can see that's a 35,000 square mile drainage called the Great Basin. And what's interesting here, you can see the salinity level. See that the Dead Sea in Israel is 19%, the Great Salt Lake is 12%, Salton Sea, which is outside of Indio, California, Palm Springs area, 4%, and our oceans are 3%. So this is quite high. Information here about Saltair, and I have heard about this before. This was a very popular area in the late 1800s that people would come out and visit and just enjoy themselves. They had salt baths and recreation. The original one was destroyed by fire in 1971. There is another one that I'll show you that's just right up from here. We passed it on the way in. As we make our way over to the side of the parking lot here, you can see there are recreational vehicles here. So this is a place that people can come. It is a state park and spend a few days if they like. And here we are looking out over the Great Salt Lake. Way off in the distance, the building, that Saltair building, that's not the original. It's probably like a mile and a half away from where I'm standing. We passed by it on the road into here. And across in the distance there, that is Antelope Island. That's also a state park. You can drive over there, and I don't think it costs anything to drive up there. And there's a road that goes to an observation area near the top of one of those peaks out there and overlook the Great Salt Lake. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to do that, but my wife Joanne did it the last time she was here and said it's just a really beautiful view. At the end of the parking lot here in the marina area, there's the visitor center. Here's a QR code, so if you want to pause this and scan that, you can get some information. So let's go up and check inside the visitor center. So as you walk inside here, there's a map of the Great Salt Lake. And if we come down here, you can see where we are. Sorry, there's kind of a glare because of the window. And then Antelope Island, Salt Lake City Airport is right here. And then to the east of that is Salt Lake City itself. So good map to look at and see what's around the area. And you can really get a scope of how large the Great Salt Lake is. I always recommend to go into a visitor center because you can get a lot of great information. Up here they've got information about the traces of the Lake Bonneville. I've certainly heard of Bonneville Salt Flats. That's where they do all the races. And lake effect, how it creates its own weather pattern. Tells you how to explore the Great Salt Lake. And over the decades, the bounty of the lake. There's also a video that they have here. And you can even find out what makes the lake smell this way. So they have some information about this and all the bacteria and microorganisms that feed upon the organic matter, causing it to decompose. So that's going to add to that. And over here, a lot of spiders and wildlife in this area, so they give you some information about that as well. And of course, there's a little gift shop to buy things, some jewelry and magnets, a few little snacks, even some coffee and hot chocolate pods. So if you want to come in here and get a little souvenir, you can. And little, water bottles and t-shirts. So it's a small visitor center, but it offers a lot. Of course, they have saltwater taffy. How perfect. So up on an overlook at the end of the parking lot, and just a frame of reference, you can see that way is dead north, where Antelope Island is. Great view up here. They even got a little outlook here that you can stand on and take a look and get beautiful panoramic shot of the lake. And the breeze off the lake feels great. It is really a beautiful day, as you can see. Take a nice panoramic view of the Great Salt Lake. And you can go out and walk on the beach, such as it is, if you want. There's some people that are out there that have some chairs. So you're welcome to go out and enjoy a picnic out there. I don't know about going in the water. I know people do. I think they allow that. I'll find out, but I do believe people can go out there and swim. So here's some information about sailing on the Great Salt Lake, and they have some 80-mile long sailing races. So that just tells you how large this lake is. And standing here, there's another map showing frame of reference here. So you have Stansbury Island way out there. And then moving along, very hard to see, Carrington Island. And then out there is Promontory Point, which I think you've all heard of. Although in reality, that was not the place where the two railroads came together, because it's basically a very isolated location. You can see it there. It's very off in the distance. It's very faint. And of course, there is Antelope Island. And again, way off in the distance there is the Saltair building. A little hard to see, but if you come out here to the end of the marina and look at this overlook, there's a plaque about it where you can find out all about the history, or you can look it up online as well. So years ago, this was very popular recreation place. And first time I heard about this, about the Saltair, again, like something else I told you about earlier, we were down at the Red Barn apple farm area. I listened to Toyman Television, and they talked all about that. I guess there used to be a train that went out to that building years ago. I did confirm you can swim out in the lake. As the person in the visitor center said, you obviously are going to get very salty, and you have to go out a little bit of ways to get some deeper water if you really want to swim. And over here, this is a copper smelter. And I asked if it's still an active factory, and she goes, yes, it's one of the largest employers here in the Salt Lake City region. So we're down at the water's edge. This little jetty that sticks out, and a lot of nets in this area as you're walking around. I don't know if you can see it on the rocks, but all those black specks are little gnats. And what this reminded us of is Mono Lake, if you've ever been up there. It doesn't look like it, but as you walk around Mono Lake, that is what you see. All right, I'm going to show you my feet here as I walk over towards the gnats. I mean, they don't bother you. They would be if they were in my backyard and I'm sitting down having a a cocktail, but they don't really bother you here. But this is just like Mono Lake. It reminds me exactly of that. I think Mono Lake might have had even more gnats, but you can see on this rock over here, all that black are gnats. And of course, you've got that odor that was talked about in the visitor center. I showed you that information that was all about it. It is pretty though. I don't think I'd want to swim in here just because how salty it would be. Although you'd be very buoyant, that's for sure. I don't see anybody out here today. Might be a little too early in the season, but it is absolutely beautiful. So after looking up a little bit more information, they do indeed still use this Saltair building as a concert venue. I looked it up. There's some concerts coming up throughout the summer, and you can see some vehicles parked over there and probably doing some maintenance. So you certainly can come out here, and I thought that it had closed down for just a long refurbishment, but I did look, and it looks like has a 2025 season of concerts coming out here, and you can see there's plenty of places to park. So just for reference, we were over in the marina right about there, and again, that's only, it looks far away on video, but it's really not. It's maybe, a mile and a half away. So you can check this out. Look online, just look up Saltair, Great Salt Lake, or just look up Saltair, Salt Lake City, and you can get information on the concerts coming out here. So again, this is not the original, but it's nice that they still have this venue. I think it's great. And as I said, the original was used as recreation and for salt baths and things like that, which reminds me very much of the history of in San Francisco. There was Sutro baths that were out on the ocean, the western edge of San Francisco by the Cliff House. To this day, I think there are still sort of the ruins of Sutro baths, like the Saltair, like the original. It didn't burn down, it was all made out of wood. As a kid, I used to go out to the one in San Francisco, and the old Sutro baths, they had the ruins, and you could kind of walk around there a little bit. They even had a gondola that went over that area. None of that's there anymore. I don't even think the ruins are still there, but that's what it reminds me of. So it's nice to see that this is still a venue that they use and that they are maintaining it for the people of Salt Lake City. That is fantastic. All right, we are going to move on, and I think our next destination is the City Creek Center, which is in the middle of Salt Lake City.